Hey, deserving listeners, 90 Day Fiancé, the single life. Let's watch.
You could ask me how is my day, how I am, and you never do. Like in my country, man has to show his interest, and either you accept it or no. Ukrainian girls never, I don't know, just, I feel like this distance is so far away from.
Okay, she's teetering right now. I didn't show it, but she is upset about him not texting her or calling her after the first date as often as she would like. And okay, you were expecting or you want or whatever. And she also it was saying she's worried about his lifestyle. There's a lot of assumptions being made about what his lifestyle entails. He works for, an acting or a modeling agency or something. And usually these kinds of jobs are not what the public think they are. It's a job like any other. And so she's making some assumptions, and she knows nothing about anything, and she's already starting to do what she was doing with Mike, right? And she's starting to accuse him, and she's becoming undifferentiated as she's saying, well, Ukrainian girls, they want to ask you, and you never do. You never ask me how I'm feeling. Just imagine that, right? You go on a date with someone and it goes really well. You get attacked, or at least quite, certainly judged for the fact that you have a past, even though you're 40 years old. And yeah, you have kids from previous relationships. And that's, he asked he's like, is that okay with you? And she's like, I don't know. So by implication, at least it's partially bad that he's 40 and he has past relationships and kids already. And so imagine that. And then, you're busy and you have a hard time making time. And then the first time you see her, the next essentially date, you're being accused of, you never asked me how I'm doing. You never asked me what's going on. And if she were more differentiated, she'd be like, okay, well, I just really want this relationship to work. I really like him. And I kind of am getting this vibe like maybe he's not into me. And I really want him to like me. And so maybe if I could get him to know that I like him, maybe it'll spark something, something like that you could say. But to start accusing him already.
We're so far away from each other. It's hard. I'm not American girl. Remember, I'm Ukrainian girl.
So I see people do this frequently. Instead of just owning your feelings, they will say, look, this is just how we are as Ukrainians, or Americans or something, or this is how women are. It's like, no, it's not how. I'm sure that not every Ukrainian is like her in this way. I'm just going to take a guess on that. So maybe there's a tendency or something, or a preference or something that is informing what she's doing. But what I think what she's saying is, you're not giving me enough attention. And apparently American women are totally fine with that. No, if you want attention and you're not getting it, it doesn't matter where you were born. You want more attention from someone. You like someone. You want some more reassurance. So she's already accusing him of being ethnically insensitive, to being distant, instead of just saying, hey, I like you and I'd like to spend more time with you. How about that?
And maybe my life a little bit, my lifestyle is a little different than maybe what you're used to. You have to keep in mind that I'm committed to my children. I'm committed to my businesses. Just because I'm not texting you, all the time doesn't mean that, I don't want to continue anything with you.
Okay. So he's, I think, saying the right things. He's saying, just because I'm not texting doesn't mean I don't want to continue things with you. And by implication, I do want to continue things with you. I think he could do a little help for Natalie right now and say, I like you. And, we've been on one date and it kind of went a little weird at the end there, but I'm willing to go on more dates with you and see what happens. And the fact that I'm not texting you back doesn't mean that I don't like that. I'm committed to my jobs. I'm committed to my kids. I'm committed to other kinds of, now maybe that's what she's saying in terms of Ukrainian. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But is Natalie saying, look, I don't casually date. Once I start dating, I want it to be serious right away. I just can't imagine everyone in Ukraine being that way.
I want to explore that. I'd like to hang out with you, spend some more time with you, kind of see where this goes with you.
Me too.
How about we do something soon?
Like what?
Why don't you come out to LA and let me take you around?
Okay.
Okay, so I think he intuited correctly that, look, she needs some indication and some commitment to a next step and a next date, and she is saying okay, and she seems reassured about that. All right.
All right. How about a little blow kiss goodbye? That's it.
I will give you a kiss when I meet you.
Yikes. I mean, she's being playful, and maybe everything will work out between the two of them, but flipping him off for what? That he's busy and he can't always text you back, and you've been on one date? Like, this is a red flag. If we didn't even know Natalie, I would say, wow, he went on one date. It went pretty well. At the end of the date, pretty judgy about him having a past, even though he's 40. And you didn't say anything like, well, I don't know, I guess I just really wanted to be with someone that doesn't have kids from previous relationships, and I really want kids, and so I kind of worry that maybe you don't want to have kids, and I don't want to have to get into it. You know, it'd be okay for her to say something like that, but you know, he was like, you seem upset. Is that okay? And she's like, I don't know. Like, what? Is something wrong with me because I'm 40 and I have previous relationships? And then he's busy. I didn't realize, or I didn't remember, that he lives in another place. Isn't she in Florida? And he's in LA? Anyway, so do I have that right? Or did she go somewhere else? I don't know. Anyway, so, but she said he's in another state, and she's texting him, and he's texting back sometimes. And the next time you get on video chat in a public place, the first thing I would do if I was him would be like, can you go outside or get in a car? So I don't want to advertise this. But of course, she's on reality TV. So anyway, then she starts to say, you know, Ukrainian women are da da da, and you know, you're da da da, and then the flip off, like, what? Imagine that. You go on a date with someone, you're like, okay, I like this person, pretty good first date, a little weird at the end, totally want to go on a second date, she's great. Okay, back to my jobs, back to my kids, back to all the other things. Okay, she's texting me, I'm texting her back. Then next time you're just being accused, like the hostility and a flip off. Again, she's joking, she's clearly making a joke, she's laughing, but when you take it in its entirety, if I were his friend, I'd say, like, there's some red flags.
After leaving Mike and going through all this disaster, it's kind of brave to try to start something new, but I'm doing it.
All right.
Bye. I wasn't so sure if I meet someone special to move on. But me and Josh, we just have this connection.
You've been on one date, and, you know, great, maybe you do, but you've been on one date. The odds, so of all the people who have, after the first date, thought, not bad, the percentage of them that marry them and have kids with them, I would say would be less than 1%. I'm just going to, in the U.S. anyway, given my understanding of how things like this work. So you've had a first date, it went well, and you felt something. It was different than it was with the other guy, although a lot would be better than the other guy. So, okay, great. But, you know, I wouldn't bank on it. But, you know, she likes him. It went well. She wants to continue. She feels good. She's going to go to L.A. I'm not going to take that away from her at all. But if I were a friend, I'd just be like, yeah, just go, you know, have a good time. Take it slow. You know, don't think about the future. What a lot of clients that I've worked with have gone through these kinds of phases, and not always, but one of the things that I will talk with them about is just live in the moment. Don't think about the future, because if you do, it'll really affect you in ways that are perhaps going to make it hard to enjoy yourself, and make it hard to really evaluate someone, and make it hard to come across as someone as yourself, right? Anyway, but hopefully it works out for Natalie.
I know that I still need to ask him questions. Does he want kids? But for now, I'm cautiously optimistic.
All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.